From the studios of the Department of Communication in Phillipsburg, welcome to Prime Minister Talks with Honorable Prime Minister Sylveria Jacobs.
Good day and welcome to Prime Minister Talks. I am Sylveria Jacobs, Prime Minister of St. Martin, and I'm using this platform to bring information to you, the people of St. Martin, and all those interested in what's happening right here within our government organization. Today's program, I have one of the graduates of the CERT program, a CERT training that took place here in government, CERT being the Community Emergency Response Team certification program. She is one of the 35 trained graduates, and I will let her tell you a little more about it. Let me take the time to welcome one of our recent graduates and give you the opportunity to tell the people of St. Martin who you are and how you got interested in being a part of the certification program that was done by government.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, St. Martin. Good afternoon, PM. Thank you for having me. My name is Jacqueline Barry. I am from Dominica. I have adopted St. Martin as my home for 30 years. And I am proud to call myself someone who is very involved in giving back to my community. I work in physical therapy. I'm a medical administrator. I am the Pathfinder Area Coordinator for St. Martin. I am the community service leader of my church, the Seventh-day Adventist Church. I am the founder for Kitchen Garden Club. Most of you might know me. And so many hats that I have. Why did I get involved? During during the last hurricane, Irma. I left my home to stay on the job. I work at the Yogish building, and I wasn't too comfortable with the roof, so I decided to pass the hurricane on the job. When the hurricane passed, I had internet and electricity, and I gave an update on Facebook and to say that thank God I'm alive. And then people from away, the students from away who know me very well, started communicating with me. And I said, you know what? They said, can you please check on my mother, or can you check on my father? Or I have an aunt living somewhere. And I decided to walk, because no transportation at the time. So I walked from the Yogish building to Sucker Garden, to French Quarter, to Point Piret, to Colby, to St. Peter's. 3 days just walking and finding people just to report to the students or to
family
other
abroad.
Citizens that, hey, I saw your family, they are okay, no time to talk, but I have to go to the next person. And I said, I can do much more. This was something that I got so passionate about, because I didn't realize that, because after the hurricane, you're so lost. What do? How can I help my community? You're not allowed to be on the road, and so much. So I saw this as an opportunity for me to give back, especially to those who were off island at the time. And when the opportunity came to do this, I said, because I work with ADRA, I'm the secretary for ADRA. This was something that is much needed during times of disaster, because ADRA is one of those who are on the field right after disaster. And I said, I can do so much more than just going and looking for people and walking for 3 days.
So now you are a trained, a certified person who knows what needs to be done within the community to be able to have a swift and coordinated response during as well as after disaster. So we had some SOFRECO experts who had an operational plan, and a comprehensive training manual was developed so that not only civil servants, but like yourself, persons within the community who have a passion to serve, who are already doing a lot on their own, also now have that information. And what I really loved about it is that you're going to be able to train others. So, as a CERT graduate, you now have these valuable skills. Can you share some of the real life scenarios that was part of your training where you think that a difference can be made in the community?
Absolutely. I love to serve. Serving is in my blood. Volunteer is in my blood, and I can go much further than just distributing food after a storm to an emergency situation. Being in medical, I am already trained, to assist in first aid and stuff like that. But the fire, going beyond first aid and doing the emergency fire, in case of a fire, that was
brand new for you.
Girl, that was just good. And I feel equipped to handle if the situation arises, that I am there. Also, assisting in a shelter, I have never did it before. I wanted to do it before, and I got the hands on how to manage a shelter or assist people who will be in a shelter. Hopefully will not, but
yes.
In case it happens, then I feel that I'm equipped in those areas to handle this situation.
So I noticed this during the graduation. Several of the graduates came up with real life experiences. You're talking about the skills you learned via the fire department. So the fire department was involved, the ambulance department was involved. Who were some of the other trainers that gave you the skills that you learned during this training program?
The psychologists. Yes, a psychologist, because you're going to meet different people. We had a scenario at the fire department where people had to role play certain people that you're going to meet in the community, and it's real. We don't ever take it for granted. And this gentleman, Silvanico, played
a mental patient,
and he played it good. And you have to learn patience.
Yes.
You'll have to learn patience, and then the situations that you're going to meet, it may also affect you because you're
overwhelmed yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So the psychologists gave us the tools and how to handle situations like this.
So you had updates in your medical expertise,
yes.
Also fire safety and
yes.
fire response, management
yes.
of scenarios of the shelters, as well as dealing with different types of persons within
yes.
the community.
Yes.
Wow, that's why you all were so excited. I must say, this was one of the certification programs when I, was asked to be there, because it did come from government. It did, was programmed via the Department of BUC. Mm-hmm. I really felt connected
yes.
because there were civil servants who I know from the disasters, but so many community leaders. Yes. So I really want to thank you. We're going to have to come back with some more questions. This is just the first part.
Good.
We have 2 more segments, but this has really been very informative, and I'm hoping that you, the people out there, are inspired to join the next cohort of trainees so that you can be an assistance, not just to your family, but to the community. Come back. This is Prime Minister Talk.
Prime Minister Talks with Honorable Prime Minister Sylvania Jacobs.
It's hurricane season. Are you prepared? Hurricanes are massive storm systems that form over the water and move toward land. Threats from hurricanes include high winds, heavy rainfall, storm surge, coastal and inland flooding, rip currents, and tornadoes. In the event of a hurricane, you've got to know where to go. If you're ordered to evacuate, know the local hurricane evacuation routes to take and have a plan for where you can stay. This public service announcement was brought to you by the government of St. Martin.
Good day. Can I have a box of your best antibiotics?
Good day. Sure. Can I have your prescription?
Prescription? Do I really need a prescription?
Why do you need antibiotics, sir?
Well, you see, I have the flu, and my sister's friend's cousin had the same flu, and he told me to get antibiotics.
I'm sorry, but all antibiotics are only on prescription from a doctor.
Why is it so difficult to get antibiotics here?
That's a good question. Let me tell you. When people overuse antibiotics or misuse them to treat viral infections like most colds and flu, bacteria can become a dangerous superbug.
A superbug? What exactly is a superbug?
Superbugs are bacteria which are resistant to most antibiotics, sometimes to all of them. They can cause untreatable infections. If we all don't stop overusing and misusing antibiotics, these dangerous superbugs will become common and there will be no treatment to many bacterial infections.
Boy, I'll make sure to tell my sister's friends' cousins about this superbug thing. Sounds pretty scary to me.
Yes, it is. Would you like to have some advice? I don't think you need all of them.
That would be great, thanks.
Collectively preventing antimicrobial resistance. This message has been brought to you by the Collective Prevention Services.
Prime Minister Talks with Honorable Prime Minister Silveria Jacob.
Welcome back to Prime Minister Talks. We're here in a riveting and very encouraging and enthusiastic conversation with Ms. Jacqueline Barry, one of our certified community workers. CERT being Community Emergency Response Training Team?
Yes.
Community Emergency Response Team, thank you. Jackie was one of those graduates that stood out, and when we asked which one of the graduates would be willing, you volunteered, and so I'm very grateful that you're willing to share your experience with the people of St. Martin. So as community engagement is a significant aspect of the CERT program, how has this experience really influenced your relationship with the community that you serve or who you consider to be your community, and how do you envision, what you've learned, how you're leveraging that with your connections that you want to make in the future?
For someone who is already fully involved in the community, I got more hands-on as to how I can better myself when to serve. Serving there's a reward that you get when you can volunteer, when you can give back. And I wish more people would do that. If we all can come together, we don't have to say that, nobody paying me. You get a reward, the satisfaction you get when you help someone and the tears of joy flow and you can see that, wow, somebody was thinking about me. There's no money that can go towards serving or volunteering your time because you're helping people who cannot help themselves. So I really would want to see a lot more people get involved in these types of activities. It makes our community more equipped. There's more people are equipped, and it will be a much better place. We can rebound faster when more people are
equipped,
and because everybody will be working somewhere. We taught so many different areas in CERT, and if there's too many people in one, there's more people who will be in another, and there's another set will be in another. It's diverse, so diverse that we will never lack. If more people just come on board, we will never lack in different areas and say, oh, this one is suffering because we don't have enough volunteers for this. No, it's so diverse, and I really want to encourage more people to come on board and do this program because the knowledge that you will gain, there's no money that can apply to that.
I'm very keen on what you said about one of the scenarios. So not only did you receive a manual, a book that you can go back to refresh yourself at any time, you actually did experience training, so experiential training in the sense of the scenarios. You mentioned one with fire, and you mentioned another in terms of dealing with a mental patient. But give us an example of some of the other types of scenarios so that the persons who are watching and saying, well, I am not sure I can do this, can understand the real life situations that you are now equipped to assist within the community and probably encourage them to do so as well.
Yes, don't be afraid to, I really want people to understand that while the program it was so much in such space of time. But once you're open to it, you will cover so many areas. We also had a scenario. Now, I really focus a lot on the different types of people that you will meet in the community. Don't underestimate your community and think that everybody is going to be nice to you. Oh. You will meet people who will really like, no, I'm rich and I don't want to be here. And we have to be ready for these kind of things, and patience comes a lot into it. People will come to you, the person you think that will have so much money and they're standing in line to get something to eat, and you wonder, no, never underestimate people and feel that, oh, because they live in a certain area, they should have it all. Our community is diverse, and we have to be prepared and ready and equipped for all the different various types of people. Our children, I am so passionate about young people. They have other needs. I don't even think they concentrate on food. Mentally, they're like haywire because they're wondering what's going on. You have to be ready and equipped to deal, just to comfort a child and let them know everything will be okay. We will bounce back. Hope. They just need hope. So food, psychological assistance, financial assistance, we might not be able to give that, but if we have to, somebody can maybe make a contact with other people. Hey, we want to help certain people in Jamaica, or Holland, Dominica, wherever. You're equipped to say, hey, we need financial assistance. We have some people we need to help. The resources are not there. Let's help. And so many other ways where the people, because they come first, they are the ones that will be looking for the help, and we are the ones who will be there to assist them in that.
So what are you doing now that you have this information within your community? How are you, besides this program, how are you sharing the information? How do the people in your community know to come to you?
We just finished.
Right.
We just finished.
July 24th.
Yes, we just finished. I am a big Facebook fan, so I already let them know that, hey.
Oh, via Facebook.
Yes, this is us, 35 strong. And if you are looking for somebody who is equipped in that segment, look at the faces in all these pictures. We're ready. And I think if a disaster happens this year, let's hope not.
Great.
They will see the faces on the street, because I believe, as I am really ready to head out, get my car in gear and head out as soon as the disaster strikes, I believe my other team members are also the same, because we are all willing and able and ready to perform.
Thank you so much. It's amazing for me. ESF 7, the persons who don't understand those acronyms, the Emergency Support Function 7 is focused on the community. They're the ones in charge of the shelters. They go out, they have relationships with community councils and the like. And so many of the volunteers that came forward were actually community council members, but some weren't. Some just are community-minded people within the community.
Citizens who want the best.
I think a good encouragement for persons who are interested is to join your community council, or at least inform them that you're willing to be a part of the recovery or disaster relief when and if something happens, so that you can get the necessary training. Once these trained CERT program persons team, once they go out and start to do their trainings as well, because that is one of the key things that they are now been taught, and they have the manuals and will learn the skills to be able to teach and train others. And that's the beauty of this program.
And I'm also really looking forward to that. With my department at church, which is the community service members, I have already told them, listen, be on guard, because we come in. I want my entire
We'll get
team.
into that some more.
Prime Minister Talks with Honorable Prime Minister Sylvia Jacobs.
The Civil Registry Department brings you a message on updating your information in the basic administration.
Did you know, as per the Ordinance on Basic Administration, all citizens have the right and obligation to request corrections on their personal information? This is done by submitting source documents. What are source documents? A source document can be any of the following: a birth certificate, a marriage certificate, a divorce certificate, an acknowledgement certificate, a death certificate, adoption certificate, court decision, or a valid residence permit. The identity of the person must be well established by having the following: an identity card issued in the Caribbean, Netherlands, and Aruba, a valid passport, or a driver's license issued within the kingdom. Persons born outside of the Dutch kingdom may need additional source documents such as a deed poll or affidavit. Depending on your country of origin, all of the above documents must be originals, not older than 3 years, and may require legalization by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Dutch Embassy, or with an apostille stamp. Translations are required for documents that are not in the Dutch or English language. No laminated documents will be accepted. Persons must appear in person. Processing takes 1 week. Please feel free to contact the Civil Registry Department for more information. Swaliga Road, number 1, Phillipsburg, St. Martin. Call us at 542-0652. Send us an email at burkazaken@stmartingov.org. You can also visit our website at www.stmartingov.org, Civil Registry, Back Office Services to view all our requirements.
This public service announcement is brought to you by the Civil Registry Department.
Prime Minister Talks with Honorable Prime Minister Silveria Jacobs.
Welcome back to Prime Minister Talks. I'm Silveria Jacobs. We're having a discussion with Jackie Barry. She's one of our certified trainers. She's one of the community workers that has gone through a program of training that was generated by BOC, the Department of the Interior and Kingdom Relations, in collaboration with the Ministry of VSA under ESF 7. So many persons, 35 strong, as Jackie just said, have been trained, are within various communities within and outside of government, and are equipped recently, the 24th of July, with a brand new certificate and a manual and skills and experience to be able to assist us when we call on them in the case of a disaster. Of course, we pray that we don't have one, but Jackie, you said something very important. 35 of you, you're now a part of a group of skilled individuals. You have a network. How do you see this network contributing to the overall safety of the island?
35 strong, and you know the good thing about it is, no offense to our men, but it's all women.
Wow.
Yes. And you know how strong women are. Guys, we
No
know
offense.
you're strong, but it's a different strong. I believe that we are equipped. The trainers who trained us, they broke it down, hands-on, everything that they could have given us so we could be ready. They provided it to us. And I think, and I know that with all the ladies that I interacted with, we had a couple men. We had a couple men. Yes, we had a couple men. Okay, let's rephrase that.
Yes,
with all the
women.
With all
Majority.
the team members that
Yes.
I interacted with, everybody they had that zeal, and they are just
Passion.
ready. Passion is that's the word. They are ready, and I know that we will be able to handle the situation if it arises, and hope it doesn't come, but if it comes, I know that we are ready because I saw the passion. Even when they were training, I mean, the compressions, they would move, and people have these fire extinguishers, and I'm like, that's women doing this? Man, they're ready, and I know they're ready, and just put us
And
to
you
the
all
challenge.
remain in contact as well.
Yes, the WhatsApp group is still there.
Wow.
Yes, and they're ready.
I think that's very, very important. And when we ended off the last segment, you were talking about your church family.
Yes.
And that you were also letting them know to get ready. So with this new skill, you live in a residential area. You mentioned this to me off camera.
Yes.
So you are in the
Don Beach Estate.
Don Beach Estate area, and you also have a big church community.
Yes.
So tell us how you are sharing or plan to share your vast knowledge, your experience, to now also equip those persons, or at least have them ready to go when the time is ready.
I will start off with my, let's start with my residential area. I have not informed them of my, well, some of them are friends on Facebook, so they know, they saw the post, but community-wise, they have not met us yet. I will handle that. Church-wise, oh, they know, my team already know. As I said, I'm the community service leader. So whenever training arises, I always ask my 23 members, guys, let us get equipped, because you never know when we will need the training, and not just for your community, but also your family.
That's the point I wanted to come up.
It's also your family. A fire can happen in your house. We all have to have a fire extinguisher in the house. You have to know how to use it. Train the children to use it. Train the young people to use it. An accident happened at church. Somebody choked on a gum or something. You got to be ready. Somebody have to, you don't have to be asking, do we have a doctor? Do we have a nurse? You should be trained and ready. You're on the bus, it happened. You're on the roadside shopping, it happened. You have to jump into gear. And that's what giving back to your community is all about. And as I stated, I really want to see more people get on board, because we will be able to save lives by doing that.
Yes, I think that was one of the things that came over at the graduation ceremony, when some of you gave your testimonies. It was very heartwarming, from the very young, because you had very young participants as well in this training program. I'm very impressed with that. So it ran the gamut of people in all walks of life. And I think this experience of saving a life, when the young lady said she just finished the training, and then somebody collapsed in front of her, and she had to jump into action. Had she not had that training, that person could have died.
You never know what could have happened.
Right?
Exactly.
So I would really like to encourage the persons who are watching, not just for the community, but for your family, to look out for ways to upgrade your training in first response. So we're nearing the end of the program, regrettably, and I definitely think I want you to go out in your community, have your first meeting, and then go back with your church community, and we'll invite you back later on in the year to give an update on how you've experienced sharing the information with your community. So here you have an opportunity to make closing remarks to the people of St. Martin as a CERT trainer.
Yes. St. Martin people, and those of you who are looking, wherever you're looking from, it is so important that we as citizens can give back to our community. I want to encourage all of you who are looking right now, if you have not started something where you can give your time or give your expertise to your community, start now. The training that I have received, it is so important in your everyday life. And I want to encourage you to please take it on. Call me. If you see any other person in the picture that you know, call them. And let us get you equipped. That will help you save your family, your friends, and any other random stranger in the community. So get on board and never take that training for granted, because you may need it.
Thank you so much, Jackie. Jacqueline Barry, one of our 35 graduates of the CERT certification program, which was carried out just recently and completed in July 24th. St. Martin is therefore better equipped to deal with disasters, and we will continue to do this training and spread the certification, spread the expertise, so that we can all be of service to our country. And like Jackie said, volunteering is something from the heart. Nobody can pay you to give the best of yourself, and when we all put our hands in, there's so much more that we can do. And all of these certified trainers now have a better idea of what, as government, we are all responsible for. It's an awesome responsibility, but we definitely signed up for it, and together we can. So until next time, I'm Silveria Jacobs, and this has been Prime Minister Talks.